Hebrew word gopher is used only once in the Bible, when God commanded Noah to make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Because no one today knows what gopher wood is, all claims as to what it was like come down to guesswork. Some theories are that it was like cypress or like cedar, pine, ebony, fir, wicker, juniper, acacia, bulrushers, or boxwood. Very likely, gopher wood doesn't exist today. Countless plants have become extinct since the time of Noah. In fact, we know very little about the kinds of wood available to Noah. No one living has seen the antediluvian world. Also, the geography of the pre-flood world was without a doubt vastly different from ours today. No one can say exactly where Noah lived. Gopher wood does not exist today. It could have been manufactured or even laminated. Yes, laminated. In many translations of the Bible, the measurements for the ark are given in cubits. Since a cubit is an inexact measurement, we will use the approximate equal length in feet. Converting cubits to feet, the ark was about 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high, with a vent window that probably encircled the entire box around the top. Here's a drawing of what that might look like. The ark and the window around the top vent. See the white arrow pointing to that vent? The Hebrew word for ark literally means box, the same word as was used for the flotation device made for baby Moses. The ark, this big box, will be unsinkable and uncapsizable because of its structure. With it being a large box, wave angles, so feared in a storm, are irrelevant. It was not like a ship, and it did not need a tapered hull. A lot of advantages come with a big, flat bottom. As for the capacity of the ark, using the 450 feet by 75 feet by 45 feet, the cubic feet of space equals 1,518,750 cubic feet of space. Remember, the ark is to have 3 levels, floors, so that allows for about 500,000 cubic feet of space per floor. If you were to see a train pass by you with 522 boxcars, that is roughly the same capacity as the ark. According to answers in Genesis, Noah took about 1,000 kinds of animals on the ark, 2 of each kind. We will assume just 2 floors were used for animals, so that would be 67,500 square feet of floor space. 1,000 kinds of animals times 2 is 2,000 living animals, so this would allow for living space of about 33 square feet per animal. Horses would need it all, but turtles not so much. Some perspective. As far as we know, mankind would not attempt to build a floating vessel as large as the ark until the 19th century. It took us that long to understand the safe ratio of length to width for a ship is 6 or 8 to 1. Noah's Ark's ratio was 6 to 1. Here's a drawing of various ships and when they were built. The ark, that length stood for a long time. That wasn't surpassed till, like 1912. Consider this. God is not shy at all about taking credit for the judgments he sends. He is about to kill billions of people and consign them to Hades without apology. It should not bother us either because God is good, so whatever he allows is always the best of all possible. If some say, your God is judgmental, we should say, yes, and thank God he is. When we get to heaven and understand there are billions of people suffering in the lake of fire, we will say with great conviction, God is good. We will not be glad that people are in hell, but we will be glad that God is good and that he judges sin. If God does not judge sin, then he is not good, and we would be consigned to live in a world of eternal sin. Genesis 6:17, I am going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature that has the breath of life in it. Everything on earth will perish, but I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. You are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to you to be kept alive. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Notice this phrase, every creature that has the breath of life in it. A clear indication that in the judgment of the great flood, sea life would not be affected, like land animals and humans. In fact, they are going to feed on the drowned and rotting carcasses of animals and people who perished. When mammals drown, their bodies tend to bloat and float. The fish of Noah's day may well have fed on such flesh, but they would not eat the bones. The bones would sink. Now imagine the bodies of billions of people and animals floating to the surface and being consumed by fish. It would take at least weeks of bloating and floating for them all to be consumed, meaning that their bones would be scattered all over the globe. And yet, for the billions of people and the billions of animals destroyed in the flood, creation scientist Henry Morris tells us that relatively few fossils from that period have been found. Genesis 6:7, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals and birds and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I have made them. Points to ponder. Countless plants have become extinct since the time of Noah. Converting cubits to feet, the ark was about 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. God is about to kill billions of people and consign them to Hades without apology. This class, and indeed the entire school, is dedicated to helping others see that God is bigger than we think and better than we know. To get to the next video, make a note of the class number for this recording, then search for the next one. Here is a sample. If this video is number L01.1, then the next one is L01.2. And remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow on Rumble.